as I speak to the urgency and why this urgency should be realized, I'm going to talk about timing overall in this discussion because it matters, and I've been a party to some of these conversations over the past couple of years. Fundamentally, price gouging, as has been discussed and adequate and well outlined by Senator Port, is about protecting consumers, about protecting Minnesotans. In 2020, when we first began grappling with the realities of COVID and what that was doing to our lives and our access to basic needs, this issue came up, and that was the first time I realized, and I know it clearly, the first time that I realized that Minnesota is in fact one of the 14 states that has no protections for Minnesotans in this. And this hit me hard because I grew up in Hurricane Alley. I am very familiar with these issues. Whenever you see a hurricane coming on shore, you see incidents of price gouging. But many of these states have adopted these laws to protect their citizens in those cases, and so there is accountability. There are mechanisms to hold people accountable when they abuse people during a tough situation. We don't have those similar kinds of widespread weather problems up here, so we haven't had to really look at this question in the same way until COVID started opening our eyes. And as we know, that has been an ongoing challenge because of the supply chain shortages that were global, that further affected the availability of so many things that Minnesotans need. I'll give one example that I saw that in the past year or so, when Texas had their power failure and caused huge problems for people to have basic heat and meet their basic shelter needs, a modest hotel chain was charging over $900 a night for a room. There are protections in there, and similar things could happen here, and we won't have those protections. We've tried for months and now years to deal with this. I remember when this did first come up in the negotiations, when we were coming back every 30 days trying to codify into law, because this needed to be the legislature's work, not the executive branch's work. We tried to codify this into law, but we couldn't ever get to agreement. And the time has come because we've had these conversations too long. The excuses that we kept hearing, basically, are that not all stakeholders agree, so therefore we can't do anything.
Members, it's a little bit loud. Let's keep our conversations low or into the side chambers, please. Senator Kent.
Thank you, Mr. President. The excuse that has been given for now 2 years of why we can't enact price gouging legislation to protect Minnesotans is that not all stakeholders agree. And the shorthand for that around this place is usually peace in the valley. We can't find peace in the valley. So we can't even have hearings about it. We can't even discuss it. That's not okay, because the translation of there's not peace in the valley is that the entities who have lobbyists don't like it. They don't want to make a change. They're just fine with the status quo. And so, members, that is why it is urgent that we act as advocates for the people of Minnesota and be their lobbyists and step in and force the people to the table to have the conversation. That is the problem. And in this case, because this is an ongoing challenge that has gone on for 2 years, it is urgent that we deal with this issue and we join most of the rest of the United States in providing these protections for the people of Minnesota. Members, it is our jobs, it is urgent. Please support this motion. Thank you.